So today we got Google Maps directions that kill people by Pharrell McGuire. Shouts out to Pharrell McGuire for the video. Original video will be a link in the description. Subscribe if you are new. And let's just get into this shit. A little quick video. Let's get it locked in. About to be interesting. Wait, hold on. Whoa. Let me read this. Hold on. Put your ass down. Hold on. This is a documentary production intended for educational, journalistic, and historical purposes. The content examines the real events through research, scripted, and fact-check reporting in order to inform viewers about systemic. How do you pronounce that shit? My dumb ass can't. Isn't that supposed to say systematic failures and significant incidents of public record? Material is presented analytically and without sensationalism. God damn, nigga using big ass words. God damn. Okay, let's just get into this shit. Fuck. All them big ass words. God damn. But I see you. Let's go.
In eastern Russia, Sergei Ustinov and Vladislav Istomin were planning a big trip.
Okay.
The pair of friends were gonna drive all the way from Yakutsk to the port city of Magadan.
Ah, damn, that shit 34 hours?
Situated on the Sea of Okhotsk. Considering this was November 2020, the pair may have been hoping to escape the creeping restlessness brought on by COVID lockdowns.
Right.
Or perhaps they were simply seeking adventure like 18-year-olds often do. Either way, their parents were not pleased when they heard about their plans. Sergei's mother in particular tried to talk them out of the trip, citing how dangerous a 1900-kilometer route would be.
Damn.
She wasn't exaggerating. Sitting in the deep reaches of eastern Siberia, their starting point Yakutsk is the most remote major city on the planet.
Okay.
It's also the coldest, with temperatures regularly reaching below -40, so cold that cars need to be left running all the time, or else they simply won't be able to start up.
Damn, they was really dedicated to going there. Shit.
If you're Canadian like me, the best way to describe Yakutsk is that it's like one of those towns way up north that's only accessible via winter roads when bodies of water freeze. Except it's not a town. It's a city with 300,000 people. All of
God damn, just 300,000 people? Damn, and we in Russia we talking about. God damn, that's kind of low.
whom have to take a ferry across the Lena River if they want to drive out of it before the winter freeze sets in. This is where Sergei and Vladislav began their journey.
Okay.
After making their way across the river, they'd have only one road ahead of them that could lead them away from the city.
This is the road they was going to, bro? I'm telling you, bro, I don't trust this shit, bro. This road looks suspicious. I ain't gonna cab, bro.
The Kolyma Highway.
Oh.
To locals, the route bears a nickname.
That's a highway, my nigga? Oh, hell no. I thought it was just a road. That shit's a highway, my nigga? Oh, hell no.
Imagine being able
You showing me an ad? Oh my fucking gosh. Bro, these ads be killing me, bro.
The Road of Bones.
Road of Bones, you got me fucked up.
It was built during the Stalin era by Gulag prisoners in the extreme conditions of northeast Siberia. Historians frequently mention that for roughly every meter of road built, one prisoner would die, leading to hundreds of thousands of deaths in total. With so many bodies and being in such a remote place, the guards overseeing the construction would usually just leave the corpses in the foundation of the road itself, making the route's nickname an accurate description of what the road was physically built from.
Fuck no.
This is a highway Sergei and Vladislav are now pulling onto. While local customs dictate that vehicles driving along this incredibly remote route should travel in pairs due to the risk of hypothermia a breakdown could present, the pair of teenagers didn't follow this advice. In fact, they hadn't brought any proper winter clothes with them.
Nigga, you're dumb as fuck. It's cold as fuck. You didn't bring no type of gear, bro? Like, what?
Only opting to wear puffer jackets and sneakers. They had originally planned their trip using Yandex Maps, but they instead decided to use this Russian platform's American equivalent, Google Maps.
Okay.
Which had shown them a shortcut the other platform didn't appear to pick up on.
I was about to say, like, what the fuck is a Yandex? This is my first time hearing about this shit. I was about to say, you better use Google Maps, my nigga. That's the only maps I know about.
Yandex route had followed the Kolyma Highway, which first leads north to the town of Usnera and only then heads south down to Magadan, an indirect trip that would take a day and a half of driving.
Damn.
Google, on the other hand, showed a more direct-looking route that instead passed through the town of Tomtor, preventing the need to needlessly drive north, and shaved off 170 kilometers and a few hours of driving. If only they knew. The route Google showed wasn't as convenient as it may have appeared.
I'm telling y'all, would y'all go down this road, bro? Like, what the hell, bro? Would y'all take the risk of going down this road? Mind you, this road's called the Road of Bones, bro. So it's just like, would y'all go on this, bro, just for a fucking little ass trip, bro? Is it really worth it, my nigga? Like, this shit looks suspicious, dude. I'm telling y'all. Plus, they got this warning sign right here. Hell no, my nigga. What?
The path they would take them on wasn't part of the maintained federal Kalima Highway. It was a stretch of the Road of Bones which had been abandoned for more than a decade.
A
As the
decade?
boys began driving down this unmaintained
nah.
highway in the middle of the taiga forest, they likely slowly noticed the bumps in the road, getting more extreme the further they went.
Oh, nah.
Their families began to grow alarmed when they failed to check in with them, and after a few days, they contacted the police, who would start a missing persons investigation.
Oh,
It would take a week of searching through abandoned roads and villages when a policeman finally came across an ice-covered Toyota Chaser 50 kilometers away from the nearest currently inhabited settlement. Inside was the body of Sergei Ustinov and a barely clinging to life Vladislav Istomin, who was quickly airlifted to a hospital in Yakutsk.
Oh, they was good. Oh my gosh, what the hell? Their car was frozen and shit. So I'm telling y'all, bro. And the parents even try to check in, bro. Okay.
Doctors would find him suffering from acute hypothermia with severe frostbite on his arms and legs.
Damn.
He'd tell his rescuers that the pair had struck something on the road while driving, leading to the car's radiator being punctured and ultimately disabling the vehicle.
What happened?
While they managed to build fires to keep warm, they still weren't properly dressed for an early Arctic winter that saw temperatures reach as low as minus 50 degrees Celsius.
How much is that in Fahrenheit? I don't know. It better be cold, shit. Because I can tell by the car, my nigga, it's cold as hell, bro.
And the cold would unfortunately lead to Vladislav's friend dying, leaving him alone in the isolation of deep Siberia with almost no
What?
supplies.
That nigga
Just a sliver
died?
of hope that somebody might eventually find him. He'd later end up losing both hands and both legs below the knee after spending 2 months in hospital.
Oh my fucking gosh, dude. Nah, that's sad as hell.
But after a successful crowdfunding campaign, he was luckily able to have custom prosthetics made for him.
W.
Journalists investigating this story would report that some of the cartography Google based their maps on was from the Soviet era, meaning it was decades out of date. While the Russian authorities decided they likely wouldn't have the basis they needed to pursue legal action against Google, the company would fix the outdated data the same month Vladislav was rescued. The world of Google Maps directions gone wrong is a unique kind of digital terror, one where software bugs lead to people dying in real life. It highlights the total trust we have in often faulty online platforms, but believe it or not, we used to be much more skeptical about being directed by a computer.
Nigga, if I don't mind using Google Maps, but if I see a road like that, my ass is turning back around, bro. It's not even worth the risk, my nigga. Plus the fucking conditions and weather, my nigga. Nigga, it was negative 50 degrees Celsius, bro. I would not go there. I probably would go another time, bro. But it's just like, these niggas was dedicated to go there, shit. And then look what happened, shit. But he lost an arm and some legs, my nigga. That's tough, bro. And one of the friend died. Oh my gosh, hell no.
People primarily used to rely on paper maps acquired from gas stations to find their way around new places.
Right.
If you're old enough, you likely remember a parent having to pull over after getting lost on the road and then struggling to unfold a giant sprawling paper map that seemed to cover the entire front half of the car.
Them big ass
These
maps.
maps actually used to be given away for free, with the map maker still able to turn a profit by selling ad spots to local businesses. One company producing these tiny folded atlases was called Geosystems.
Geosystems? Okay.
They've been making paper maps since 1967. And in
Damn.
1996, they launched a new venture that would not only skyrocket the company's growth, but would also forever change the way people navigate in unfamiliar places. MapQuest.
MapQuest? Okay.
Everybody who's old enough to remember the 2000s also undoubtedly remembers MapQuest.
I don't know this shit. This is way too old. I was born in 2003, my nigga. I don't know what the fuck this shit is. Interactive Atlas? Yeah, this shit look old as hell, bro.
Instead of having to plan a route yourself by carefully reading through a paper map, MapQuest allowed you to simply type in a starting point and an ending point, and the website would plan the optimal route for you. The problem was, computers and internet access were still relegated to the home in this era, so these directions had to be physically printed out. If you were traveling with a passenger, they could just read out the directions to you, but if you were alone, you'd have to be rifling through the pages yourself.
I don't trust no nigga reading a map for me. He could set me up or some shit. Hell nah.
Something
I'd rather look at the map myself than let a nigga tell me where to go. Like, nope.
blogger described as the 1990s version of texting and driving. If you happen to mix up the order of the pages, too bad, now you're lost. Miss a turn, unless you pull a Yui and go back, you are now lost. Come up on a blocked road due to construction, your printed directions can't offer an alternative route, and you are now lost.
I built this website in 5 minutes.
Just like that, bro. Just like that. I'm glad we have all the equipment now, bro. We are so advanced that we got Google Maps and all that other shit, bro. We got GPS and shit, bro. Shoo, thank God, literally. Oh
Simply
shit.
using paper maps, which led to MapQuest being seen more as a novelty than a reliable navigation tool.
I'm telling you, if I was using a paper map back then, I would get lost for sure, bro.
If
Shit.
you're in your early 30s, you may remember one of your parents being enthusiastic about using MapQuest while the other was sort of groan about it, eventually getting a bit of satisfaction out of saying, "I told you so," when the printed directions eventually went wrong.
My parents never used this, bro. Hell no. I never used a MapQuest like this. This is some OG, bro. This is some OG shit. I ain't gonna cap, bro. Shit.
These were just the early days. While MapQuest was spending its time in the spotlight as a primitive road planning tool that had essentially remained unchanged since the 90s, Google was working on their own modern alternative that would offer much more functionality. And in 2007, it would come pre-installed on the first iteration of this century's most important technological innovation.
What?
The iPhone and other smartphones with their built-in GPS systems would provide Google an avenue to deliver the ultimate navigation tool, one that combined the strong points of both paper maps and MapQuest. Google Maps could account for road closures and missed turns in real time, all while audibly reading out directions to you. While this sort of functionality was already present in cars by the 2010s in the form of dashboard GPS systems, those often relied on maps that quickly became outdated as your car aged.
See, this is the one I'm familiar with, not that other MapQuest shit, bro. That's just way too old for me, bro. Some of you guys probably know about this shit, but not me, bro. I was born in 2003, but this is the shit I'm used to, bro. Literally.
Google, on the other hand, was always updating their maps, and they could offer some advanced crowdsourced functionality car GPS systems couldn't, like estimating traffic levels and warning of upcoming speed traps and road closures. Before we knew it, online navigation tools had gone from being an unreliable novelty to becoming our primary tool for planning road trips.
Right?
Paper maps disappeared from gas stations, and we instead put our complete trust in their online equivalents. But
Yup.
even if Google Maps and similar platforms seemed like the most reliable choice, they still weren't 100% accurate. And with so many people relying on these tools to direct them around unfamiliar places, it was only a matter of time until something would go horribly wrong.
Uh-oh. What happened?
It's the afternoon on October 3rd, 2015.
Damn.
70-year-old
Shit
Regina
old.
Murmura is getting ready to meet some family for dinner at a pizzeria.
Okay.
She's a businesswoman living in the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro. And as her and her husband Francisco get into their car, she proposes using a new app she had downloaded to figure out their route.
What'd she get?
Waze. A Google Maps
Waze?
alternative, also owned by Google.
Oh.
She opens the app and begins typing in the restaurant's address, which
I don't know what that shit is. We talking about 2015? Let me stop pausing.
happened to be on a beachfront avenue in the affluent city of Niterói, just across the bay from Rio. It's unknown whether or not Regina simply made a typo or if the app mistakenly resolved the wrong address, but in any event, the route the couple were now following on Waze wasn't exactly directing to any beachfront avenue.
Whoa.
As the couple crossed the bridge to Niterói, something began to feel off.
What
They
happened?
were heading away from the coastline rather than towards it.
Oh.
In fact, it seemed as if they were heading away from the city altogether.
Oh shit. So they was using that app and they was not going to their destination. See, bro? That's why you just gotta stick with Google Maps, bro. Even though sometimes it be inaccurate as fuck, but this Waze app, bro, they heading to the wrong direction, my nigga. Like, what the fuck are we doing now?
Eventually, the app instructs them to pull off Highway 104 and onto an unassuming street in the hills. And it's here where things go horribly wrong. As Francisco is driving, the couple hear what sounds like a gunshot. Then they
Oh.
hear another one, and then several more.
Oh, they getting
Bullets start
chased.
appearing everywhere in the car, and the elderly driver steps on the accelerator in an attempt to get away. The streets grow narrower, and they begin twisting and turning wildly, making it impossible for Francisco to figure out where he's going.
Oh, somebody's looking for them for sure, bro. Oh, hell no. They over here twisting and turning down the roads. Oh, nah, bro. What they do, bro? They was old as hell. What the fuck they do, bro, to be getting chased? Oh, hell no.
Eventually, he comes up to a dead end.
Oh,
Behind him, a group of armed men block his exit.
they're done.
He pleads with the gunman to let him and his wife leave, but one of them strikes him in the head with the butt of their gun. They
Oh.
fire at the car another 4 or 5 times before they finally decide to let the couple leave.
Okay.
Francisco immediately drove to the hospital as Regina had been struck in the back by one of the many bullets that had passed through the car.
Damn, I thought they got away unscathed, bruh. Damn, they got hit? Damn.
While they would make it to the emergency room, she unfortunately passed away shortly after
Bro,
arriving.
come on. RP,
They
man.
hadn't known it then, but the Waze app had mistakenly directed them into the Caramujo favela, an informal neighborhood notorious for housing violent drug trafficking groups.
Oh.
One of the streets in the favela happened to have a very similar name to the coastal avenue Regina had intended to travel to.
Really?
Shockingly, it wasn't the first time the Waze app would mistakenly direct unsuspecting drivers into Caramujo, with actress Fabiana Carla also being shot at after accidentally turning into the favela just weeks before the death of Regina Murmura.
Wow.
Police would eventually
Oh damn, you can actually see the bullet. My bad for pausing y'all, but I'd be loving to, yeah, but you can actually see the bullet right here, bro. What the fuck, bro? That shit all the way in there.
Murmura. Police would eventually hunt down and arrest the leader of the armed group that had been shooting out lost drivers, a man by the name of Rodrigo da Silva Rodriguez. He'd get 60.
Whoa. What's his name? That nigga got his first name and his last name are the same. Rodriguez? Like, that's some fucked up shit. I ain't gonna cap.
Drivers, a man by the name of Rodrigo da Silva Rodriguez.
Rodrigo Rodriguez. I thought his first name was Rodriguez and his last name was Rodriguez. Okay, that's an interesting name, bro. They didn't give a fuck about this thing at all when they gave him that, bro. They named him Rodrigo Rodriguez. Like, what type of shit is that? That shit is not unique at all, bro. But
He'd get
anyways,
60 years in prison.
W.
Waze would issue a statement explaining that while the company was saddened by Regina's murder, they wouldn't change the app's design, as the countless regular people who lived in the Caramujo favela also should be able to use online navigation tools to help find their way home. This wouldn't be the last death in Brazil tied to a map platform direct to users through favelas. A year later in December 2016, Italian tourist Roberto Bardella was touring around the country on a motorcycle with his cousin, using one of the many available online navigation tools to help find his way around.
Okay.
After visiting the Christ the Redeemer statue, the pair began making their way towards the beach. It's never been reported which app they were using, but whichever one it was, decided to route the cousins through Morro das Prazeres, another favela home to armed criminal groups.
So we don't know what they was using at the time. We just have to guess it was. I don't know.
Members of whom assumed that
That's
Bardella
crazy.
and his cousin were plainclothes police officers. They would kill Roberto, but would leave his cousin alive.
Oh.
3 months later, Argentinian tourist Natalia Capetti was shot in the back after Google Maps had directed her through the same favela. She would die 3 weeks later from her injuries.
God damn, everybody dying in this. Like, what the fuck? Like, shit. Like, is really Google Maps really like this, bro? Or something else dark we don't know about going on? And mind you, this is not in our country, bro. This is like overseas and shit, bro. We got Russia and now we in Brazil. Like, what the fuck is going on in here, bro?
You would assume somebody would do something about this, whether it was the Brazilian authorities or the mapping platforms themselves.
Nope.
But other than prosecuting the people who had pulled the triggers, nothing would change to fix this ongoing problem. And it would
Wow.
only get worse. In 2024, a whopping 19 people will be shot after mistakenly entering favelas, whether it was unsuspecting tourists, lost locals, or Uber drivers.
Oh,
Google has repeatedly
damn.
declined to comment on this pattern. With all these map platforms being primarily developed here in North America, the concept of risk zones may be a bit of a foreign concept to the people who run them. While a lot of effort is put into the things that pose risk to us, like weather warnings, it seems like the more dire dangers that exist in other parts of the world are little more than an afterthought to the people who call the shots on Google Maps.
Right.
It would be one thing if stuff like this was only happening in Brazil, then Google could point at this being a Brazil problem rather than a Google Maps issue.
That's what it seems like, bro. It's like, I feel like it's not even Google Maps' fault. I feel like it's like a country problem, you know? It's like something else going on with these people, you know what I'm saying?
But that's unfortunately not the case.
Really?
Websites
It's
and
not?
competitors don't want
You showing me an ad, bro. And I always be pressing M right on time, dude. I'm like that for real.
It's June 2026, and
Oh, this shit recent. My bad for pausing, but my trigger finger itching. Shout out to Thug. Let me go back. I don't know what the fuck that was. That was kind of cringe, but let me go back.
than a
Let's
Google
lock in.
Maps issue. But that's unfortunately not the case. It's June 2026, and
Okay, this is recent. Okay, my bad for pausing.
Pakistani businessman Ali Jamil is busy planning his family's first ever road trip.
All right.
Him, his wife, and 2 daughters are going to drive from their home in Karachi to the naturally beautiful city of Quetta.
Karachi.
His father had warned about the potential danger in traveling so close to the Afghan border, but Ali disregarded these fears. And to his credit, the family did make it perfectly fine to Quetta, and they reportedly enjoyed their vacation in the mountains.
Them big ass mountains.
Ali had used Google Maps to find his way on the road, with the first leg of the trip mainly sticking to a national highway. On the return half, though, Google would decide, for whatever reason, to divert Ali off the highway and onto a smaller road. Perhaps the app thought it found a shortcut, or maybe it was just a glitch.
I mean, hey, Google Maps is not wrong. It's like a whole fucking satellite. So, I mean, they could take different routes for a shorter way, but it's just like, could you really blame Google Maps for this? Or could you blame the person who's driving it, you know? It's like, you can't really blame an app for these people, you know, passing away, bro. It's like, I don't know. It could be the wrong place, the wrong time, or it could be the driver's fault, you know? We don't know what happens behind the scenes, bro. So, you can't really blame Google Maps for getting these people knocked off, you know? So
regardless,
that's my opinion.
This back road would lead Ali and his family through the Dasht area of the Mastung district. Dasht is a Persian word that refers to an arid plain.
Like, where the fuck is this even at? I know I keep pausing, bro, but I'm just looking at this shit, but it's like, what the fuck even is this place? It's just a bunch of mountains in the middle of nowhere. Like, come on now, you know some sus is going on behind the scenes that we don't even know about, bro. Like, come on now, like, where the fuck are you even going?
That's very much the landscape Ali is now driving through. It's a bare and rocky landscape surrounded by tall mountains in the distance, but Ali and his family likely wouldn't have been able to see them considering they were driving through this area at night. All they would have been able to make out was the immediate stretch of road laying ahead of them. At some point, they pull up on a man standing in the road blocking their way.
Oh, nah.
Brightly illuminated by the car's headlights, it's obvious he's carrying a gun.
Whoa.
More men start walking into the light. One of them begins to approach the driver's window, but Ali steps on the accelerator, prompting the men to start shooting at the car. The vehicle would soon stop just a ways ahead of the gunman.
I mean, like, at that situation, you can't do nothing. The dude's literally standing in front of you with a gun, bro. Your best bet is just to, like, I don't know. I don't even know what you could do in that situation, to be honest. Like, you can't do shit, bro, if you're not strapped up, dude. Like, you're in a car and your nigga was just pointing a gun at you, bro. It's just a wraps for you. You might as well. Your best bet is just to drive as fast as you can and hopefully it doesn't shoot, or you're just fucked, dude. Either way, bro, you just fucked, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know what else you could do.
Ali had been struck.
Oh.
He would die shortly after.
Oh.
His wife had also been hit 5 times, but she'd managed to cling on to life and do her best to calm down her daughters, who were luckily both uninjured.
Wow.
The authorities wouldn't arrive to rescue them until the following morning.
She survived after 5 shots? She a real trooper, bro. RP to the other dude, bro. I guess he was the driver, but RP, man. What the fuck, bro?
The family had to spend the entire night in this dark and barren plain, knowing that the gunman may be out looking for them. After being brought to the hospital, Ali's wife would thankfully be stabilized, and she'd arrange a funeral for her husband at the end of June.
Wow.
Ali's murderers would never be identified, and nobody knows what those gunmen were doing in this isolated and barren region so late in the night.
Yeah, that's weird.
Once again, Google wouldn't issue any sort of public statement on this case, although it's worth noting that most of the public pressure in this instance was directed towards the Pakistani government. Still, Google had taken a family off of a well-traveled highway and onto a back road that led through what's essentially a conflict zone that frequently sees ambushes and militant violence from insurgent groups. No matter where the public decides to lay blame here, it's tough to argue against the fact that Ali wouldn't have driven onto that back road had Google not told him to, which is exactly what happened to all those people in Brazil.
I mean, all you gotta say is you just gotta be at the wrong place at the wrong time. This is a perfect example, bro. Can't really blame Google Maps on this.
You could argue that it's up to the person using a navigation app to do their research and know where they should and shouldn't go on a road trip.
Right.
But then again, how is someone like Ali supposed to know where every single back road leads to on a 680-kilometer journey? Maybe he could have pulled over and did some Googling about the area he was now being routed through, but I think it's easy to understand why he may have just went with it.
I mean, it's his fault. Like, where the fuck is he going, bro? He was going on a vacation in the middle of the mountains in, like, an isolated place. Like, where the fuck are you even going to take a vacation to at? And this is recent. Like, what the fuck, bro? You can't really blame nobody else but the driver, bro. I mean, he wanted to go there. He took the risk, shit.
I don't know if you've noticed, but drivers on the road have a tendency to just sort of go with the flow. Not you or me, obviously, we're both great drivers.
Yeah.
I remember this video on Reddit a few years ago where a line of cars was just kind of mysteriously driving off a highway and into the grass, seemingly into nowhere. I
What?
really wanted to find it to show you, but I unfortunately couldn't track it down. If you happen to remember it, let me know. The
Hold
point
on, let me read this. Hold on, let me go back. Let me go back. Let me read this. Hold on. I need to spit. Pause. Fucking saliva and spit all in my throat. Google Maps glitch leads hundreds of drivers to the middle of nowhere. Twitter can relate. A glitch in Google Maps recently led hundreds of drivers in Colorado to a deserted road in the middle of nowhere. Wait, what's that shit say? Nitizen says. Who is that? Is that somebody's name? They shared the feelings. Oh, this shit happened in Colorado, bro. Oh, hell no. See, bro? I'm not going to Colorado after hearing this shit. Hell no.
if you happen
I
to
thought about going to Denver, but hell no after reading this. Fuck no.
remember it, let me know. The point is, people have a tendency to not be very mindful while they're driving. They're thinking about work or what they're going to make for dinner, and they end up not fully paying attention to the things they're doing on the road. Like if the slow line of traffic they're following happens to randomly veer into the grass. It's not just that we have total trust in navigation tools like Google Maps, but we're simply not always thinking critically when one of them tells us to do something on the road.
Yeah.
And that can sometimes lead to horrible outcomes.
Nah, facts. That's actually a good video. I'm not gonna lie. This is an interesting video. Like, I did not know, like, these niggas get killed off of these fucking Google Maps. Like, god damn, off of GPS. Like, shit.
Like countless others, Navy veteran Philip Paxson relied on Google Maps to help direct him on the road when he and his family moved states in 2022.
Okay.
They had relocated to Hickory, North Carolina. And in September of that year, Philip and his wife Alicia threw a birthday party for one of their daughters at a friend's house.
You said Hickory, North Carolina. What is there to do in Hickory, North Carolina, bro? That shit sound deserted as fuck. Hickory. No barbecue. Let me chill.
At the end of the evening, Alicia took the kids home while Philip decided to stay behind to assist in the cleanup. By the time he left, the sky had grown dark and it was pouring rain.
Grown dark.
He begins
What?
his drive home on 24th Street Place Northeast. He likely didn't notice, but at one point, the street turned into a private road, right as he
Whoa.
entered a wooded area. Just seconds later, he experiences a jarring feeling of weightlessness.
The fuck?
He's falling.
He's falling, my nigga. What? Nigga going on the road and he's falling? What type of shit is that?
The next morning, authorities would find a flipped Jeep submerged in a creek.
Nigga, what the fuck happened to this dude? What the fuck, nigga driving on the road and he ended up in a creek upside down with a car? Hopefully he'll survive, but he probably didn't, because what the fuck, bro? What type of shit is this? Not going to Hickory no more, my nigga. I'm not going to North Carolina, because what type of shit is this?
They'd pull it out, and sadly, Philip was still inside.
Oh.
He had accidentally driven off a collapsed bridge, one that had apparently fallen a whole 9 years prior.
Nigga, what type of... This is a road, right? What the fuck, bro? These niggas just left it like this? No reconstruction, no nothing, bro? Like, what the fuck? This just goes right here. It just drops. Like, what the fuck? What? Oh, yeah, you definitely got to sue the fucking... You definitely got to sue the state for sure. Because what type of shit is this? They didn't put no type of warning sign, no cones, no nothing, bro. They just left it like it is, bro. That's fucked up.
With the road and bridge being on private land that was owned by a long-defunct company, there was no clear ownership of the destroyed infrastructure.
Really?
Thus, it was never fixed. There were, however, several signs on 24th Street Place Northeast warning that the road ahead was closed.
Oh.
Or at least there were in this 2019 Google Maps screenshot.
Yeah, that's 3 years
Philip either
prior.
hadn't noticed them, or they had been taken down in the years since these photos were taken.
Probably, bro, because there's no way, bro. They should have put a sign in front of the road at least. Like, this shit right here, this shit don't mean shit.
While it's unknown whether or not the warning signs were still there, we do know that the barriers that were normally physically blocking the way to the collapsed bridge had been completely removed. Meaning
Oh.
there was nothing in the way to stop somebody from driving straight into the creek.
Yeah, they could have put this right there. So this is a road right here. This shit's inside edition. So he probably could have just ran through that bitch and did it all by himself, bro. He probably didn't give a fuck. Or he probably was going through some shit, bro. Or this was not there prior to this when he did it. So it's just like, who knows, bro? We'll never get the full answer.
Google Maps hadn't warned Philip either. In fact, multiple users had previously complained that the platform was treating the bridge as if it was still intact. Google didn't do anything about it though, and they continued to direct drivers across a collapsed bridge.
Wow.
Will most likely either notice the barriers, the signs, or the fact that a section of the road ahead of them was missing. It was only a matter of time before someone drove off the bridge and into the creek.
Like, they couldn't fix this shit, bro. Like, it'll just take like a month just to fix this up, or I don't know how long it takes to usually build this shit, but it's just like, dude, a month or a couple of weeks they can just build this shit, bro. It's like, it's not that long of a road to build, bro. Like, what the fuck, you killing niggas with this shit. Facts.
Even after Philip died, despite being notified multiple times, Google was still directing drivers across the fallen bridge as late as April 2023, a full 6 months after the fatal accident.
Wow. Oh yeah, they didn't care. That was like, yeah, let's let us catch more bodies in this bitch. Like, what the fuck, North Carolina, bro. Y'all don't know what y'all doing about this. Hopefully this is fixed, but we're in 2026. This was 2000. He said April 2023, bro. You better fix this shit, bro. I'm telling y'all. Because if it's 3 years after this incident, bro, and it's still not fixed, I'm gonna be heated. Because what the fuck are we doing? Why are we leaving this shit like this, dude?
It would take a lawsuit to actually get them to finally flag the small stretch of road.
Oh, finally.
Impassable. I think this case perfectly captures the gist behind all these stories. While some might say the issues posed by Google Maps in dangerous regions of the world remain unaddressed due to some form of discriminatory ignorance, I personally think it's much more simple than that. These massive platforms simply aren't going to make a change unless they're forced to, whether it's because of legal or regulatory action. The fact that Google willingly swapped out those outdated Soviet maps in that first case without being forced to is actually a bit of an outlier. The problems in every other case I could find, whether they're in this video or not, were either completely ignored or addressed only after a lawsuit was filed.
Wow.
Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not already subscribed...
This was a W video. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Pharrell. Goddamn, I said that all fucked up. Shout out to Pharrell McGuire for the video. Original video will be in the description. Subscribe if you are new. And I'm out, man. Peace.